Hello and welcome to my video, An Introduction to Transformations. So what is a transformation? Well, transformation is taking a shape, usually on a grid, but a more basic version is not even on a grid. We'll stick with a grid for now to keep the clarity. But taking a shape and basically moving it or changing it in some way. So let's take a look at the most basic transformation, which is a translation. Not translation in terms of language, but translation in terms of a grid or math. So we're going to be moving the object. So here we have a parallelogram in red, and we're going to move that object. So I'm just going to imagine that every single point on my parallelogram is going to move. I'm going to call it 4 to the right. So 4 to the right. Okay? So I'm going to take this point here and I'm going to move it 4 to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So that point ends up in this corner. Alright? So that green point is now the new green point. Let's take the other. Well, this one's right in half, right? So I'm going to move this 4 to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So right here is where I'm going to have that point. So you notice how the blue ends up on the blue spot. Let's move this one 4 to the right. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4. Trying to put it in the exact same spot as the other one. There you go. And last but not least, I'm going to use purple for this one. This corner goes 4 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. And roughly in that location. Alright, so now we have a new shape that has been translated 4 to the right. I'm going to just draw this out so that it can show up. I think this will work. Yeah. Okay, roughly. So you can see how every single point moved 4 to the right. And that's basically what translations are. Whatever it tells you, up, down, left, right, that's what you have to do. Now down here we have a reflection. And so we start with a object, a shape, and then we flip it. And we always flip it over a line. So there's this purple dotted line that I drew, and we're going to be flipping it over that dotted line. Now every single point is going to be flipped exactly the same spot, but opposite. Kind of like if you're looking into a mirror, how far away something is in a mirror has to do with how far away it actually is in real life. So for example, this point here, let's use the same spots, the same colors. So this point here is yellow. It's this far away from my line. So I'm going to do the same thing, but put it that far away on the other side of the line. If you look at this top point, well, it's actually touching the line, so it's going to stay exactly where it is. And then this purple point, how far away is it? Well, it's 1, 2, 3, and like a quarter. So hopefully you can see that 1, 2, 3, and a quarter. So I'm going to move it 1, 2, 3, and a quarter. And then my blue is 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to put it exactly 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so now we have a new shape. And let's try to draw that in. There you go. So now we have a new shape that is a flipped version, a reflection of the old shape. So my black shape is a reflection over the purple line of the red shape. All right, let's go down and try a rotation. So we just looked at, just a reminder, translation is move, reflection is flip, rotation is a spin. So we're going to do two different spins here, but you need to spin around a point. So what's going to happen is every item, however far away it is from that point, is going to rotate around that point. So I'm going to rotate, let's say, rotate 90 degrees, I'm going to write clockwise, which means this way around, right? So that green point is going to rotate 90 degrees around that point, but it's just over a full square unit away, right? So it's like just over a full unit square away. So we're going to be just over, oh, sorry about the keyboard here, just over a full unit square away. And we rotate it to the right. Stop it. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing for the yellow. Currently it was pointing this direction. We're going to move it clockwise 90 degrees. So it's going to be pointing in this direction. Yeah, it's not perfect, but it's good. And then, so my other shape, so maybe I'll circle this point. It's over there, and now it's going to move over here. So, I don't know if that's 100% clear to you guys, but we have a shape that looks something like that. It's been rotated around, spun around that purple dot by 90 degrees. A quarter turn. All right. Not perfectly drawn, but you get the idea. You're going to see this maybe a little bit more often, where the point is outside of this shape, in which case we'll rotate around that shape. So the purple will stay in the same spot because that's on that corner. But this point here is moving in 90 degrees. So it's going to go 90 degrees to the right. It's going to be over here. Oh no, it's over here. I think. Let me just make sense of this in my head. Yep. So it's moved 90 degrees to the right. And this point here is moving 90 degrees to the right. So it ends up over there. So now if we draw our shape, oh, that was not super well done, so I'm going to try that again. Okay, not a perfect drawing by any means, but you guys get the idea. It's spun around this corner instead. All right, so we've now looked at translation, reflection, and rotation. And now the last type is called dilation, which is enlarging or shrinking the shape. So maybe I say shrink in half. Okay? Or by 2. So what's going to happen when I draw this, it's going, all the sides are going to be half the size of before. So hopefully this works well. There you go. So we before had 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. Now we only have 1, 2. And same thing with this direction. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we only have 1, 2. And so we have shrunk it in half. Now if we say we want to make it bigger, I'm going to just write it in here maybe. enlarge by 2 or double. Okay, well, how's that going to show up? Well, currently it's 4, so this is going to get real big. Maybe we'll draw it this way so it sticks in. There you go. So now we have a new shape. Oh, that should be larger though. I don't know if it's going to let me. No, it's not going to. No, that's the right size, but it should be surrounding it. But that's okay. Get the picture. Maybe I can move it. Maybe I can move the ones inside. There you go. That works better. So the point of that was just to say that if you're doing one thing, you can't also do others. So that was before I had it as a dilation and a translation. We're just doing one thing at a time. So I hope you guys can sort of understand dilation, rotation, reflection, and translation. But this is just an introduction to transformations, and we should get into them a little bit more in detail as we go. Good luck.